Hey guys, what's up? So in this video we're going to take a quick look at a relatively new-ish line of prize figures that have started releasing here in the States. They're probably not too new in Japan, but they are pretty new for my neck of the woods at least. And that's the One Piece, the Shukko line, or in this case the Departure. The Departure is a pretty interesting line given the fact that they're all relatively larger scale than a lot of your traditional prize figure lines can be. Generally meaning that now most prize figure lines stack up to about 5¼ inches to 6 inches tall. I'll put the metric scale here or over here. This line goes for a 7-inch scale, which is super nice, really. It's a nice larger scale, almost like that of Pop-Up Parade. Now, of course, traditionally that would raise the price, but this line stays anywhere between $20 to $26. This was given to me as a gift, so I didn't have to pay anything for it, which was awesome. You know, my favorite One Piece character. Thanks, Mom. But packaging's your standard fare for some of your more inexpensive One Piece lines, especially some of your nicer, more modern lines. On the side, you've got a picture of the statue in a good pose. On the back, you've got a close-up on the face detail, which is nice, and it's a nice background that a lot of One Piece statues seem to be using a lot anymore. And then, of course, you've got this, which is a nice product image, too. I see a lot more prize figure companies doing stuff like this, where they just have these really nice decorative borders on stuff, and, you know, try to feel a little more premium. Now, you see the number 1 here. That's pretty simple. This is the first style. The second style, I'm assuming, is probably the green jacket. I would have to assume, because given the fact that it's Zoro, you know, it's kind of his other main look. Now, let's go ahead and get him out of the box and take a look at him by himself. All right, and out of the box, he looks pretty good. He stands about an even 7 inches tall. Again, I'll give the little metric marking here, but like most prize figures, he's in a all matte finish, which looks good. The robes are in a completely matte black finish. Yeah, there's no shading on here, but there doesn't need to be, given the fact of how well it's detailed. All the robes seem to give their own type of shadings, as does the skin. The skin's a nice matte color. It's a little pinker in real life. I don't know how well the camera's picking that up. The belt looks great. There could be a little bit of shading throughout, but again, for a $20 line, I'm not complaining that, you know, the belt's too bright. It looks good. It's a nice pop of color. All 3 of the swords look great. They look absolutely fantastic. One of my only real complaints with the figure is I wish that the gold on all of these weapons was a little bit brighter and shinier of a gold, more of a vibrant, kind of yellowish gold than I do this more dull, washed out gold that it was going for. But the white of Enma looks good, and then these two look fine. The green inner belt looks good. The red outer belt looks good. The buttons are painted nicely. The scars are really painted quite nicely. See if I can get a close up here on the face. The scars on the face especially are painted very nicely. The hair looks great. It's the nice, vibrant, bright moss green that you would want. Again, the earring's a little dull, though. It's almost a metallic green, which seems a little odd, but I think it's just maybe a paint error. But it looks cool, though, either way. The eye looks good. The bandana looks good. A little bit of dust up there, but looks good. Skin tone's nice. The scar on the chest looks good. It's actually sculpted in and filled with, I'm assuming, a wash. That looks good, too. Other than an obvious little mold line here, but you're not going to notice that from a distance. The hilts of each sword look good. As to the handles. Very detailed. Each one of the cross guards on the sword look good. The actual scabbards look good themselves. Each with their own little corresponding details here on the bottom. Little ties here at the bottom of this one. The red sash looks good. Same around back. Everything looks good. The boots are cast in a much shinier black than the rest of the black on the figure, so it looks nice. It stands out. Especially considering the pants are a matte finish, the jacket's a matte finish. Little pops of green here and there look good. Little pops of red look good. All in all, I would say that for what this is a really nice figure. It does definitely have some pop-up parade qualities in the way it's done, really. It does have that more premium feel for a $20 to $26 prize figure line. Now, this line's not really too crazy deep. You've got a handful of figures in the line currently. You've got Zoro, Luffy, of course, Crocodile. Most of the main crew you've got already done. They all seem to be pretty high quality. They all seem to look pretty good. With a couple of chase variants here and there. So, that's pretty good. I would, of course, recommend if you're going to buy one, try to get them for at least 20 bucks. But anything over 20 seems a bit much for figures that don't have a ton of paint on them. But I mean, what they lack in paint, they make up for it being very detailed and scaled quite nicely. I'll show you how well he compares next to something like a standard import figure. But yeah, it's of course a fair comparison. That's probably what he'll be displayed next to is other One Piece figures. As for assembly, though, there was no assembly. He came like this in the package. All you did was just stick him onto the black base, and the base looks nice. My only real complaint, honestly, would be the base also. The base needs a little bit of something to make a pop. If you're good enough with modeling tools and modeling techniques, I would say put like sand on the base or something, which I honestly might do just to spruce this up a little bit. But yeah, I mean, he looks great. I would highly recommend it, especially if you're a One Piece fan. You like Zoro as a character. Perfect way to get his post-time skip look on a non-articulated figure that's in a relatively cool pose, too. Especially considering that most walking poses you get aren't that great. And this is a pose you see a lot in One Piece, so it's perfect to have it on the shelf. I'll definitely be buying more of these. I've kind of become obsessed with this line. I've been looking up the other figures in the line, trying to do pricing, figure out if I got shelf space to do all 7 members of the crew. Also, what's nice is the scale of these figures is good. Some of your bigger characters like Brook and Crocodile tend to be scaled quite a bit taller. Not true to scale, but still taller than the main characters, so that's good. I would say that if you're out and you can find these figures for an affordable price, I would always obviously highly recommend picking them up. They're quite good and very nicely detailed for what they are. Especially considering the fact that they're $20. They look nice. The contrast is good. The sculpt's great. The detail's there. And they're sculpted so well that if you did want to go in and maybe add some paint flourishes, you probably could. And assuming that there is a green variant out there too, I would, again, highly recommend that you pick one of these up. They're fantastic. As always, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoy this stuff, let me know. And if you want to help me keep the lights on, you can buy me a coffee. And subscribing and sharing always helps. Thank you guys. I'll see you in the next one.